Welcome back to the IE427 garage, everybody. Michael's car is done. I just finished up doing, I don't know, probably 100, maybe 125, not miles an hour. Glamour shots of the car outside in front of the shop. And I've got my favorites as far as which pictures I think really catch the feel, the essence of this car. But I'll let you guys decide. We'll post them up on social media probably in the next couple days. We want to make Michael, or let Michael see what his car looks like before we reveal it to all of you. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you exactly how it turned out. Alright, everybody, I'm sure you can see Michael's car over my shoulder here, and just how beautiful it looks. Still not a fan of the light color interior, simply because, you know, if it were my car, I'd be the one that had to maintain it, and it's a lot of work. So let me take you around the car and we'll get a better look at it. The sun on this car is just amazing. So while it looks, you know, it's blue and it looks one color in the shop, it looks completely different out here in the sunlight. So if you remember, about halfway through Michael's build, he let us know that he was looking for a set of wheels. He wanted to get something more in keeping with the car, and so we found him a set of Team 3. These are, I think they're 17 by 8 on the front and they're 17 by 9.5 in the back. So not your traditional 9.5 or 9 and 10.5 in the back where you can run a 315, but you know, this is a Mark 3, and although a 315 tire will fit in the back, it's tight. You know, on my own car, I made the fenders wider just so that they could fit easier and better. But they really turned out nice. We threw some polish on the wheel lips, because these are a polished lip around the wheel. And we cleaned up the centers. We even cleaned up the white lettering on the tires, and it really looks sharp. Now, those letters are in, you know, they're in some bad shape. Some of them are falling off. They're gonna have to be replaced, but I really wanted it to look nice for the car being delivered to Michael. Around the back, you can see the bumpers are nice and bright. They look brand new. We've got a brand new lock on the back for the handle for the trunk and a brand new light. We picked up some roll bars. Michael previously had black powder-coated roll bars on the car, and he really wanted to get a set of chrome ones, and so we got a set of chrome ones for him. Carrying on with that, his Le Mans cap was kind of dirty and dingy, and we could have polished it, but Michael decided that he didn't want the maintenance, and so we had that ceramic coated the same color as the side pipes. The trunk, although I've still got some junk in the trunk, we did our drop trunk mod in here, so that gives you about 4.5 inches more space over the top of the gas tank. And then we've got a couple of parts in here for Michael to take with him. You can see the roll bars are bolted in on both sides. We did our battery mod, so the battery is actually in this back corner, the corner quarter panel of the car, and so it tucks it away. We use a small footprint battery in there, and so that gives you a little more trunk space. We've got trunk struts on the back. We got those from our buddy Mike Everson, who I just talked with this morning. The interior. Let's just start with the door panels. So this is one of the first hints I had of the color the car was going to go on the interior by the door panels, because Michael had these sent out to me pretty early. So he got the fabric for the door panels and he sent these to Herb. These are Herb's door panels, and Herb got a set of door panels made up for him. We went ahead, we had all of the hinge parts powder coated black for the inside. We went ahead and we dyed the check straps black, so those blend in with everything. The car has our under dash panels, and so in the under dash panels we've got the the heating eyeball for the ductwork, and we put in a USB port on the passenger side so Michael can plug in his phone, or you can plug in a GPS unit or something like that. The dash turned out really nice. It's a very simple layout. We hid our HUD light switch behind the dash, so we had a very minimalist amount of switches on the front of the dash, but we did add the glove box, which was a major undertaking. We ended up having to shorten that glove box by about 3 inches. They're typically about 6 inches deep. Ours is about 2.5 to 3 inches deep now. So that was so we could get the heater for the car installed. And that in itself was a chore because we had to make our own heater box in order to limit the amount of space that that heater took up in the car. So while we're still on the outside, before I raise the hood, we did the ceramic coating on the side pipes, and then Michael picked up a set of Drummer Mike's side pipe heat shields, and he had those ceramic coated in the same color. All right, at the front of the car, we went ahead and we replaced the radiator. We replaced this with a unit that is a universal fit from, I think it was Griffin radiators. And so we just went with the same size as the factory 5. We did have to make some accommodations for that to make it all work, but we've got the Breeze upper and lower mounts for that radiator that we made work. We've got the mesh both in the oil cooler opening and in the brake scoop duct openings as well. And then we did a one-piece surround for the radiator lumen. So that's one piece that goes from side to bottom to side and really cleans up the front of the car. We ended up replacing the turn signal lenses because Michael's were both broken. We put in tri-bar headlights. These have the blue dots, and Michael will have to deal with this because I believe blue dot headlights are illegal in California. So hopefully he won't drive this a whole lot at night and he won't get pulled over for the blue dots. The paint is outstanding. On a 1 to 10 scale, this is a 10 plus. Jeff Miller, as usual, just knocked this paint out of the park. What we gave him, which was previously painted by him, and what we got back were two different things. The car was in really sad shape. The previous owner didn't take tremendous care of the paint job that was on the car, and so Jeff did his magic again and really made this car look outstanding. New aluminum overflow surge tank. This previously had a plastic one, and so Michael picked this one up early in the build. We made accommodations for it, and it's in and it works. We did custom tubing for all of the radiator inlets and outlets so that we have nice stainless tubing with rubber ends that go into both the engine and the radiator. The engine itself was primarily just a dress up. We put a lot of things on the engine just to make it look nicer. So if you remember, Michael purchased 3 intakes, including the one that was already on the car. So he purchased 2 extra ones. And we cobbled together pieces and parts from each one of those to get the best parts to come together and give him a Cobra upper intake so that it would match the car. And then we did replace the decal that's on the top of the intake manifold. That's one from either late model restorations or CJ Pony parts. I can't remember exactly who we got it from. Michael had the valve covers coated blue, and these are a metallic blue. So the powder coater actually, this is a 2-step process. They first coat the metallic portion of it, and then they put this blue kind of glaze powder coat over the top of it, and it's almost a dead-on match for the color of the car. And then of course we did a custom air intake for this, utilizing parts from the old Ford intake and then some aftermarket parts from Spectra and from Summit Racing and also from K&N. It's got a new fuel pressure regulator, and so now rather than the factory regulator that goes over here on the fuel rail, we actually have an adjustable fuel pressure regulator. And then we did a Holley transducer in the outlet that used to be for the pressure regulator, and now we can monitor that on the Holley system, and that wraps up the engine. The Holley system on this car so far has worked flawlessly. It needs some tuning. It's still running a little rich, but I think that's something that Michael has already scheduled, and that he's probably getting it done here in the next couple of weeks. We are not delivering this car to Michael with the hardtop. I ran into some issues getting the glass. It's not really glass, it's a piece of plexiglass in the back window of the hardtop, and I'm just not comfortable putting it in. It's something that is just beyond my capability at this point. So I'd rather have someone that's more familiar with this take care of it, because Michael paid a lot of money for paint and all this other stuff, and so I don't want to harm it. And so Michael's going to take that to probably one of the local glass shops by him and have that done. So other than that, this car is finished, and I'll take one more walk around it, and you're going to just see just how simply beautiful this car ended up. This is by far the longest a single car has been in our shop non-stop ever. I think at last check it was here almost 20 months. So we're 4 months shy of 2 years. Now, some of that had to do with COVID. Some of it had to do with the fact that Michael likes buying parts. Sorry, Michael, I had to get that dig in. And some of it is the fact that we took on other projects in the midst of Michael's car. Some were before his that carried over into the start of his, and some were after his was already started. And so that led to a lot of this time frame. And so let me turn the camera around, and we'll just take one more look at this car, and I think you'll see just how beautiful this all turned out. And that's it, everybody. Another one in the books. I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you'd like and you're enjoying the content, please do the like, the share, the subscribe, and all that good stuff. We'll see you guys all next time. Have a great day.